Namaste. Welcome to the website of Premanand Yoga. Today we are going to learn how we do the daily workout, which is going to be a session of 45 minutes to 1 hour that you can practice at home under the supervision of an expert, or you can even do this daily workout while watching our videos. Daily workout refers to any physical activity which gives benefits to your physical and mental health. And over here, as we're talking about yoga, we're going to show you various pranayams and the asanas which will help you get mental and physical benefits for your overall health. Now we will start with the first pranayam here, which is the Bhastrika pranayam. You can do the Bhastrika pranayam while sitting in the Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana, Sukhasana or Vajrasana. While you sit in these asanas, you have to be in Dhyan Mudra, wherein your hands should be straight, eyes should be closed, and your complete concentration should be on your breath. In Bhastrika Pranayam, we inhale, then we hold the breath inside for a few seconds, and then we exhale out. So this complete process in yoga is known as the Purak, which is the inhale, the Kumbhak, which is holding the breath, and the Rechak, which is exhaling. And the best ratio to do the Bhastrika Pranayam has to be 1:4:2. That means if you're taking 1 second to inhale, you should hold the breath for 4 seconds, and then you should take around 2 seconds to exhale. There are multiple benefits that one can have while doing the Bhastrika Pranayam. First of all, it clears your respiratory system. The lungs oxygen capacity increases, so your lungs are able to get oxygen more and more, hence giving you mental and physical benefits. And you can do Bhastrika Pranayam for 15 to 20 times initially and keep on increasing it as per your capacity. After we do the Bhastrika Pranayam, the second pranayam that we are going to do here is known as the Anulom Vilom Pranayam. In Anulom Vilom Pranayam, you have to lock your right nostril with your right hand and inhale from your left nostril. Once you inhale, you have to hold your breath for a couple of seconds, lock the left nostril and exhale from the right. Similarly, now you should inhale from the right, lock the right nostril, hold it for a few seconds and then exhale from the left. So this is one round of Anulom Vilom Pranayam, wherein you inhale and exhale from both the nostrils. And this is also one of the reasons this pranayam is also known as alternate breathing exercise. Again, there are many benefits of doing the Anulom Vilom Pranayam. It increases the lung capacity to take more oxygen. Any person who is suffering from ailments like asthma, sinuses, or any respiratory disease gets cured by doing Anulom Vilom. And this is especially benefit for people who are suffering from hypertension or high blood pressure. After the Anulom Vilom Pranayam, our expert will show you how we do the Kapalbhati, which is considered to be one of the best pranayams in the yoga. You can do Kapalbhati Pranayam for 50 to 100 times daily, and you can increase the capacity as per your limitations. In Kapalbhati Pranayam, we will close our eyes sitting in the same posture, which is the Padmasana, Sukhasana or the Ardha Padmasana. We would inhale once and then we will concentrate on exhaling. Please make sure when you exhale out, your stomach should contract inside or your belly should go inside. So this has to be done at the same time while you exhale out and you contract your stomach inside. Do this pranayam for 50 to 100 times daily for multiple benefits. Kapalbhati pranayam increases the blood circulation. Kapal means forehead and Bhati means shining. So by practicing Kapalbhati pranayam on a regular basis, it enhances the shining on a person's face or the forehead. This also helps in reducing or getting out all the blockages within your body. Like any person who is building up stones near the kidneys or gallbladder, for that matter, any problems in regards to your digestion systems also get cured by doing the Kapalbhati pranayam. It takes out all the toxins from the body, and one should practice this 50 to 100 times daily and can increase as per the capacity. Please make sure there has to be some precautions taken while we do the Kapalbhati pranayam. People who are suffering from any critical illness or pregnant women should not practice this pranayam, and people who are suffering from heart disease or blood pressure should do it under the supervision of an expert. Otherwise, all healthy persons can practice it daily for many benefits. After the Kapalbhati pranayam, our expert will show you how we do the Bhramari pranayam. While sitting in the same position, you have to close your eyes while using the lower three fingers, and your index finger should be on your forehead. Now you should close your ears while using both the thumbs from your right and your left hand. In this position, you have to inhale as much as you can very slowly, and then you have to create a sound like a honeybee. Please make sure that we have to keep this balance of exhaling and getting the sound. This has to be balanced and equal. So the time that you take to exhale, that's the similar time should be taking while getting the sound out. And you can practice this Bhramari pranayam for 5 to 10 times daily for many benefits. This pranayam basically works on the CNS system, which is also known as the central nervous system. So any person who has any illness in regards to their brain, for example, people suffering from depression, stress, insomnia, or any other illness which is related to the CNS, which is central nervous system, gets cured by practicing Bhramari pranayam daily. And this is the pranayam that you can practice also after you have your meals. After the Bhramari pranayam, we will also show you how we do the Udgit pranayam, which is also known as the Om chanting. While sitting in the same position, same posture, you have to inhale, and then you have to create the sound of Om, wherein the O sound should be 70% and the rest 30% should be the Ma sound or the M sound. So this is the correct way to do the Udgit pranayam, also known as Om chanting. It has been scientifically proved that all the planets in the universe, when they take a round on their axis, there is a sound which is created in the universe, which is the Om sound. So basically, people who are practicing yoga for the spiritual benefits also get connected to that O or the supreme well-being while doing this chanting. In the ancient India, many yogis used to practice Om chanting or the Udgit pranayam for getting the spiritual awakening. This also helps you do meditation for a longer period. So after doing these pranayams daily, we can start with some asanas here. Now our expert will show you how we do the Kandrasana, which is also known as the shoulder pose. In order to do the Kandrasana, you have to lie down on your back. Your hands should be straight and you have to fold your legs. Keep your heels near your hips. In this asana, we have to lift our upper body while we inhale. So this is the position that we come in the Kandrasana. Also make sure that your chin touches your chest while we are in this pose for additional benefits. Then exhale and come slowly back on the floor. Inhale up. Please concentrate on the breathing pattern. Whenever we will go up or raise our body, we have to inhale, and when we come down, we have to exhale. You can do this asana 10 to 50 times daily, and then you can increase as per your capacity. Kandrasana makes your shoulders stronger. Also, this is very good in curing thyroid related diseases. Now, after doing the Kandrasana, we will demonstrate how we do the Kamar Chakrasana. In order to do the Kamar Chakrasana, we will get hands back, we will fold them and support our head like shown in the video. Then we will fold our legs. Now we will inhale. Once we inhale, we have to roll our legs and touch it on the floor while our head goes in the opposite direction. While we come up, we have to inhale, and while we go down, we will exhale. This is the breathing pattern that we have to follow while doing the Kamar Chakrasana. This is a very beneficial asana which gives twist to your spine and also very beneficial for curing diseases like diabetes. After doing the Kamar Chakrasana, we will show you how we do the Halasana or the Ardha Halasana. Ardha Halasana is also known as the 90 degree, wherein we have to raise our legs up to 90 degree as we inhale, and as we get our legs back on the floor, we will exhale. Once you inhale and lift your legs, try to stay in this position for a few seconds as per your limitation, and slowly get back down on the floor. This asana is very beneficial for reducing the belly fat or the stomach fat, and also good for reducing the fat near the thigh and the calf area. It also increases the blood circulation through your belly, so all the organs which is in your stomach gets a massage. After we do the Ardha Halasana, which is the 90 degree, we will show you how we do the Naukasana. In Naukasana, you have to straighten your hands, top on your head. It has to be straight, and your legs should be joined and straight. In this asana, you have to come up and try to touch your legs with your hands and stay in this position for 5 to 10 seconds. Please concentrate on the breathing pattern. While you come up, you have to exhale, and while you go down, you have to inhale. You can do it with alternative legs, that is, first with the right and then with the left leg, and then you can join the legs and do it with both the legs together. Again, Naukasana has multiple benefits. It reduces the belly fat, also makes your arm and the leg muscles stronger, and good for curing any diseases in regards to your belly. After we do the Naukasana, we will do the crunches, for which you have to fold your legs and support your head by folding your hands. Once you inhale, start exhaling as you come up. Try to concentrate on the ceiling at a point to increase the intensity of this workout. Do at least 10 repetition for 2 sets in crunches. Again, crunches is very good for reducing the belly fat and also to make 6 abs, or this is basically the ab exercise. People who are suffering from back pain or spondylosis should avoid doing the crunches. After this, we will demonstrate how we do the circle and cycles. We'll start with the circles. In this, we will raise our leg up to 45 degree and then create a circle in the clockwise and the anti-clockwise direction. Try to expand your legs as much as possible to get the maximum benefit. And without holding, you have to make circles in the anti-clock direction, as shown here. Please make sure your knee is not bent. Your legs should be straight and erected towards the ceiling. Circle is very good for leg workout. It reduces your thigh and the calf muscle fat, also makes your legs stronger. By increasing the blood flow during the or near the abdominal area, which is the belly area, it also cures diabetes, as your pancreas is able to secrete more insulin. After this, we will show you how we do the cycles while we lie down. In the same position, you have to do the cycling as you're riding a bicycle. You can do it with both the legs as you ride a bicycle in both the direction as demonstrated here. You can do it in the right way and then you can do it in the opposite direction. This is another form of doing the cycling workout. Make sure that your thigh gets nearer to your chest or the belly area to get the maximum benefit of doing the cycling. Again, cycling is a very good workout for your legs. And after this, we will show you another asana. The another asana that we will demonstrate here is known as the Bhujangasana. For the Bhujangasana, you have to lie down on your stomach, on your belly, by rolling from the left hand side. Elbows should be raised and near the chest. Your legs should be joined. Chin on the floor. In the Bhujangasana, we will inhale and raise our upper body up to the belly button and look at the ceiling. We have to stay in this position for 5 to 10 seconds and then exhale down. Inhale up Concentrate on the breathing pattern. As we come up, we will inhale, and as we go down, we will exhale. You can do this asana 10 to 15 times daily for many benefits. This asana stretches your spine, also very good for curing thyroid related illness or disease, and also makes your arm and shoulders stronger. After we do the Bhujangasana, we'll demonstrate how we do the Ardha Bhujangasana. By lying in the same position, you have to hold your right hand with the left hand. You can either do it with the right or the left. First, you have to hold your left hand wrist with the right. And while we come up, similarly as we did in the Bhujangasana, you have to pull your hands from behind. Exhale back on the floor. Once you come up, inhale and stay in this position for 5 to 10 seconds and then relax back on the floor. You can do this asana 10 to 50 times daily or as per your comfort. After we do the Ardha Bhujangasana, we will show you how we do the Salbhasana or Salbhasana. For doing the Salbhasana, you have to get both the hands under the thighs. So your right hand go under the right thigh and the left hand go under the left thigh. Chin on the floor. In this you have to raise your legs from behind as high as possible for maximum benefits. Please make sure that your knee is not bent while you raise your legs. You can start doing it first with the right leg and then with the left leg. Concentrate on the breathing pattern. Inhale as you lift your leg and exhale as you come down. You can also do Salbhasana with both the legs together for more intensity. So this is the way we do Salbhasana with both the legs for extra pressure on the body. This asana is very good for the lower body as it increases the blood circulation as well as your thigh and your thigh fat and calf fat gets reduced. Also it gives massage to the organs in the lower stomach like the pancreas, liver, gallbladder, urine bladder. So any problems in regards to these organs gets cured by doing the Salbhasana. Now lying in the same position, we will show you how we do the Dhanurasana. In order to do the Dhanurasana, you have to fold your legs from behind and hold your right leg with the right hand and left leg with the left hand from the ankles. And raise your upper body as we did in the Bhujangasana. While you do this, also pull your legs from behind so that you come in this position. Concentrate on the breathing pattern. As you come up, inhale. And as you go down, exhale. Inhale up and exhale down. So this is the breathing pattern you should follow while doing the Dhanurasana. Again, you can do this asana for 10 to 15 times for many benefits. It increases the blood circulation, also give balance to your body, balances the body, It gives massage to your lower stomach or belly organs and very good for the overall health. After you do the Dhanurasana, you can relax in the Shavasana for a few minutes. You can just loosen your body, close your eyes, head should be on the left hand side, and just try to concentrate on the breathing. Do not think about, don't let any thoughts come. Just relax, loosen your body, and concentrate on your breath. So this is the Shavasana, wherein you can rest for 5 to 10 minutes daily after the daily workout. Shavasana gets you de-stress. It also reduces the fatigue and depression. So this asana is very good for people who are suffering from anxiety disorder, insomnia, or stress. So these are the daily workouts that one can do with a set of pranayams and the asanas, and the session could take around 45 minutes to 1 hour every day. Free precautions that one has to take. Any person who is suffering from critical illness, heart disease, hypertension, slip disc, back pain, should practice these asanas under the supervision of an expert. Also, pregnant women should consult a physician or a yoga teacher before they practice any asana. These are the daily workout sessions that you can do while watching our videos daily or while attending the home tuition sessions. Thank you very much for watching this video with Premanand Yoga. Namaskar.